It's summer now. Many of the schools and academies are closing down, and teachers are looking for one on one students online or in person. So, I want to tell you today, give you some tricks and give you a good first lesson to make a great first impression to any one on one student to keep them coming back and to keep your lessons flowing smoothly and so you can make money throughout the summer. Let's go. Hey there, English teachers. Jesse here from Sweet Academy, and I want to help you in the classroom and to get more English students. That's what we're going to focus on today. As I said in the intro, it's summertime. Many academy jobs and camp jobs are taken, or schools are closing down for the summer. What are we going to do to make money in the summer? Well, now in the age of the internet, there are countless opportunities and possibilities to find students around the world online. I'll post some links in the bottom of places that you can go to. For example, italki, you can go there, click the link below, and get a bonus opportunity, get bonus lessons. You can study many languages, and plus you get a little throwback for the old Jess Man too. So click on that below if you want some teaching opportunity or you want to learn a language. But once you get your student, how do you start, right? The first lessons can always be awkward. Like, what do? You don't know the person. Do you do an icebreaker? Well, today I'm going to give you my first lesson that I always do with all my students. And it lets a good first impression, or it gives a good first impression. And it builds a good connection because it gives you an impression. It gives you an image of being a professional, which, let's face it, a lot of one-on-one teachers kind of go about the one-on-one lessons the wrong way. And they kind of have the attitude, I've heard, that, well, I just go in and have a conversation and then the student gives me money. Okay, that's good in the short term, right? That's good. You can make 20 euros or $20 or $25 or 30 or 40, depending on your country, right? But teaching one-on-one lessons is more than just that. And you'll need to have a different approach if you want your students to keep coming back and keep paying you that money, right? And making a good first impression is huge. So let me give you my first lesson. My first lesson is we greet, have some small talk. And by the way, I always have a notebook with me and I open it and I take notes during our lesson. This does two things. It lets the student, it helps them feel that you're taking this seriously, that you're a professional. So that's awesome. Image is everything in this. But also, it encourages them to take notes. If they see me taking notes on maybe an expression that I taught them, and then I'll write it down, then they kind of feel encouraged to get a pen, open their notebook, and write it down as well. I don't even have to tell them, right? So that's the first thing and the second thing. But then the next thing that I do in our lessons is I always go over their objectives. What do they want to accomplish? Why did they want to have our lessons? Why do they want to pay me money to teach them English? What do they want? What's their end game? And I always encourage them to write good goals, right? What is a good goal? What does a good goal look like? Well, a good goal should be concrete. So you probably know what a concrete goal is, but in case you don't, and for you to pass on to your student, a concrete goal is something that's kind of specific. So a bad example would be, I want to improve my English. Well, if they say that, which many of your students will, we want to direct them to more specific areas. Why do they want to improve their English? They deal with English clients. They want to travel more. They want to get a boost in pay. They want to get a promotion, something like that, right? They have a family member who speaks English. They want to prepare for an exam eventually, whatever, right? We want to get more specific in their goal setting. Okay, so that's the first thing. set a specific concrete goal. And then you want them to write it down. You definitely want them to write down their goals so it's not just a thought floating in the air. If you don't write it down, then it basically didn't happen, right? Don't just think it, ink it. That's it. And then after that, we're going to come up with a little specific plan of something that we're going to do together to achieve that goal, right? So if their goal is to pass an English exam, then we're going to set, okay, then what about half the class will have conversation, and then the second half, we will have exam practice and feedback, something like that. And you don't really have to stick to this like it's gospel truth, right? But it does give us a plan and does give us a focus that if we start to get off track a little bit, then after a few weeks, we'll start coming back and be like, oh yeah, let's revisit your goal. What is your goal, right? We've been having a lot of good conversation and building your communication language, but let's remember that exam coming up. The same thing if they're looking to travel abroad, maybe in the future, in November or December, a few months down the road, right? We want to focus, come back to that, right? We always have our objective. We have our goal that we're pointing towards, and that's the ultimate reason that they're paying us money, right? You got to keep in mind, you're a professional. You're a professional. Treat yourself like a professional. Carry yourself like a professional, and they will feel better parting with their money, right? They're paying you money to improve their language, to improve themselves in some way. So we're trying to do that as best as we can, and by helping them improve their confidence, helping them improve their focus, that's probably the best way that you can do that. That's the best way that I can share with you to do that for your one-on-one students. And then by that time, have a little more conversation and then follow some other lessons. I'll put another lesson up here or there. I think it's up here of a lesson, some one-on-one ideas that I've done in the past that have worked, that I regularly do, right? Because they work so well. So I'm going to share that with you. And let me know below or contact me on social media at Sweet Academy if you do have any specific questions. If you do kind of get stuck and think, my lessons have been stale. Like what can I do? What can I do to get more students, or what can I do to get more referrals? What can I do to have these lessons go by a little more smoothly, right? Many young teachers, I remember when I first started teaching and I had one-on-one lessons, it was in Korea and I was charging $30 or $40 an hour because that's standard there, or low. And I kind of felt bad about it because I really didn't know what I was doing. Well, at least now you have the first lesson taken care of, and then you can just move on from there. It'll make the rest of your lessons go by smoothly. So let me know what you think. Let me know if this works well and if you do this, and if you have any other ideas, share those below too, because we all kind of learn from each other, right? Learning together, that's what we're doing, right? Okay, if you like this video and you like the content, you like the idea of this, then consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell so you can get video lessons and strategy and techniques and ideas every week. Keep teaching and keep learning. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.